president shortly after that, after it concludes. The president has spent his entire career working to address gun violence, and his determination to act has been redoubled by senseless killings we've seen both in mass shootings like this and in the lives lost to the epidemic of gun violence every single day in communities across our country. We can't afford to wait as innocent lives are taken. That's why the president laid out a set of initial actions last week that the administration can take now, that we can take now, to address gun violence, stopping the proliferation of ghost guns and better regulating stabilizing braces, making it easier for states to implement red flag laws, increasing investments in proven community violence intervention programs. There's more we can do and must do. The Senate should take up and pass the 3 bills strengthening background checks that passed the House with bipartisan majorities and have the overwhelming support of the American people. They should heed the president's call to pass a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines and an immunity for gun manufacturers. Congress should act to pass the priorities laid out in the American Jobs Plan, including providing $5 billion in funding for community violence prevention programs, something that is of great interest to a number of the groups that work hard on this issue. They should speedily confirm David Chipman to lead the ATF, where he served honorably for 25 years as a special agent. Again, there'll be a statement by the president out shortly. Well, first I would say the president believes that we leaders can do more than one thing at one time. And yes, we've proposed an American Jobs Plan, something that will put millions of people back to work, that will make historic investments in our economy, put us on a path to sustainability and competing with China over the long term. At the same time, as I just reiterated at the beginning, the president has used the power of his office to put in place, takes executive actions, pull his own levers to ensure that we are doing more to address gun violence. At the same time, he's also working with Congress to move forward on the George Floyd Act. He also believes that can put in place long overdue reforms that are necessary. But it also will require Congress moving forward. And sometimes that is a process. It can be unsatisfying. It can take longer than we all think it should. But in order to get enough members together to support police reforms, we feel that the George Floyd Act is the right step forward. So I would dispute the notion. I would say that in this building, the legislative team, senior members of the White House staff, we are working on multiple fronts at the same time, even as we have introduced a major piece of legislation.
Point taken. And on the George Floyd Act, can you offer any details on how exactly, who's making the calls, what's being done from the White House end, from the president and vice president on down to lobby Congress and make it happen?
Well, it's going to require Congress and leaders in Congress to move that forward. And the president is eager to sign the George Floyd Act into law, eager to sign a police reform bill into law, thinks those reforms are long overdue. There are conversations happening on Capitol Hill that I will allow them to brief you on. There are leaders who have been outspoken, whether it's Senator Cory Booker, Senator Tim Scott, others in the House who are engaged in discussions about what the path could look like moving forward. We certainly understand and know that the initial bill that was passed, there could be changes. That's democracy in action. That's how legislating happens. And again, the president's eager to sign that bill. We will continue to have senior officials engage with members of Congress on it.